Oh, the military has been showing fake things to presidents. Sandy Hook intelligence is increasingly leaking. They have roles of people named O'Brien and Collusion with the state judicial branch, and Demora with the state judicial branch offices. Well, they also recorded, confessed, demonstrate, confirmed there are people with the name Oliveri tied to them, involved with Elm Streets and Rocky Hill and Weathersfield, and conjunctions to Route 3 and to that, like the state judicial branch offices, as their roles with some more sexual and medical offenders, with grammar school kids and middle school kids, with identity theft, fraud, slanders, with overt criminal enterprises and private ones, and some nutbags with psychiatry and their kids, as ones personally and professionally involved with judges and prosecutors and their kids. In other words, and there's sustained, I have not gotten a response yet for what I caught them doing with the kids. And they're hiding this with retired police chiefs from Weathersfield. They should fear God now. Let's get them on paper too with the Marines too pretty soon with the interbranch. We're going to go into with their roles with that. They've been using they have some. They're putting arrays of falsified police reports with no writing. Then they put a writing, put a confession. How about how they have roles with arrays of falsified police reports with people involved from other areas on my street, involved with child offenders, identity thefts, and frauds, like with these Mendez police. Please get them on paper and say sorry to the president. You guys, you want to do your presidency over? They wasted it. They have roles with World Trade Center attacks. And increasingly, people tied to former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin. Don't leave out the Clinton people's roles or the people that helped them, probably too. Obama, Trump, please. Biden. Get them on paper, please. They have your son's name involved. I don't know if it was him, but they have Secret Service involved with their confessions at Central Connecticut State University, other police forms, Whiting Forensics, a whole bunch of state police and federal tied to ones with the name Demora, and Mayano, and Colo, and involved with sexual and medical offenders next to Hartford Hospital, also with little kids, with the intelligence community, state police, also with us, and federal and other countries, co-defendants of a former director of the FBI, involved also with Eric Jensen and others interstates, and with people, state police next to Hartford Hospital with Eric Jensen and Chris Walters, also involved next to Central Connecticut State University. All kinds of natures of organized crimes and federal evidence crimes. The Weathersfield police increasingly involved with child sexual and medical offenders of kids, and then putting kids that aren't even tied to each other and trying to make fake exceptions with others, like this Joshua Julian. He's increasingly involved with people in my area, involved with people from other areas that are planting evidences with the Joshua Julian on Facebook pages, interbranch still. Facebook has roles with people with the state connected. The Connecticut Capitol and next to it, the intelligence next to it, they have roles with Sandy Hook campuses, all kinds of natures of organized crimes, and names like Colo and O'Brien and D. Simone, who have a whole bunch of people tied to them on my street with police forging, switching names, putting fake motivations for it, sequence shifts. Increasingly, every year since before the World Trade Center attack, I can't get a response. And they keep stacking predicate acts and lying about what they're communicating. And they will not get on paper, into branch. They put arrays of falsified police reports for the same thing. And nothing to respond for in writing. They just put fake things in databases. Intercities. And they put everyone in fake conversations with people around them about sick things. See, most people in other words, I didn't even have conversations with them. In other words, that shows even the investigators recorded themselves being used remotely. The breaching method records themselves by being and having been used remotely, criminally foreign influence, tactically delusions raw, like when they bring up subjects of slavery. Black pupils' whites of eyes is inseparable from any proper treatment of it, let alone pretending passions and emotions. In other words, you guys have the function of passions and emotions, which is about discerning the simultaneous or the hyper simultaneous, exploiting, so to speak. Please get the Weathersfield police on paper, one name and sequence. WFSB has wire crime acts and methods with them, all kind of falsified police reports and various natures of organized crimes with them, including sexual and medical abuses of kids, elderly, veterans homes. And the difference of the intelligence there or next to them, the collusion /S. In other words, they were child abuse since they were kids, coming through criminally foreign influence, tactically delusions raw. campuses and maintain that way from off them to keep hyper additional motivations, natures, needs, and interests appearing. But not, in other words, all you have to do is follow mandated law. Everything would have been fixed. You guys can't follow mandated law. In other words, FBI has rules inter platforms involved with criminally foreign influence, tactically delusions, route readings of statutes and precedents regarding the validity of what is said, especially right here recorded. They're changing and faking what's recorded first, and they're pretending passion and emotions while the tactically delusions raw, identity theft, fraud, slander. They better get me off the fake conversations with these Mendez police, these sick bastards, and get them the response for their roles with Hartford Hospital. The Fox Connecticut News and the businesses next to it are increasingly involved with people along roads and routes like Main Street in Hartford, and conjunctions to it like Park Street. All along Park Street, there's a Lena's Pizza further involved with sexual medical offenders of kids, and with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, involved with his co-defendants and their family members with overt criminal enterprises, private ones, involved with identity theft, fraud, slanders between campuses, putting fake ties between little grammar school kids and middle school kids that don't even know the other kids as the ones acting, and then they're trying to make fake exceptions tied to that acting and the fake things, putting whole fake transcripts in databases. You need to get them on paper, one name and sequence, fake branches, then Paul.